What's happening, YouTube? In this video, I just want to go over my business. I have a couple of different streams of income or different channels that I'm selling on. And so I just want to go over them. Hopefully this can help some people. They may get a good idea of what is possible. I'm not trying to say I'm doing, millions of dollars or anything. I'm just saying that these are different ways that I have made even a couple of dollars. So I just want to go over how my business is structured. Um, so I made a little spreadsheet right here. Let's see. So this is the business overview. So the different channels I'm selling on are eBay, Etsy, and Amazon. And I also sell on Mercari, but I haven't sold anything on there yet. I get a lot of views and some likes for the items that I have listed, but I have not made any sales, so I don't have that on here yet. But that is another channel that anyone could sell on. Mercari. There's also, I think, like Let Go. That's another thing you can sell on as well. That's more for local sellers, buyers and sellers. You just take out your phone and take a picture of something. You have like the most brief description of whatever item. People will see it and they'll contact you. You meet up with them, sell it. But anyway, that's kind of off topic already. Anyway, so my business is structured by eBay, Etsy, and Amazon. And I'm going to go into more detail on each. So first up is my eBay store. This is what I first started on in December of 2016. I just started because I just wanted to, see if something could work. I started off selling baby clothes. I had a friend that had huge bags of baby clothes that she gave me, and I started in December, like early December, and I made a sale. My first sale was on December 1st. And it was for about $4 plus free shipping for a small, like these little shoes. And once I realized that people will actually buy what I'm putting online, pretty much what I'm listing, I needed to figure out how can I repeat this same thing, and that's when I caught the bug, really. So I started in December of 2016. Like I said, I was selling baby clothes, and then I just went to thrift stores and started buying just a bunch of stuff that I think would sell. Of course, I did really bad. I started buying electronics, and I got a lot of returns off of that. So I really stopped doing electronics in the beginning. But I did realize that men's clothing was doing pretty well for me. So I just continued doing men's clothing. So it could be something from, hats. I don't really sell hats. Ties, shirts, really, pants, sometimes shoes. A lot of shirts, really. So I sell men's clothing for my eBay business. So in 2017, I generated $16,500 in revenue, which, in my opinion, that is pretty good to me. I mean, I could, not, I could just rely on only my job income, and that could be it. But instead, I was able to generate even more on top of that. Which, I mean, to me, that's pretty good. I think the net profit was around like 9,000, maybe somewhere around there. So that is how my eBay business went through 2017. Of course, November, a little bit of December. I think May and November were my best months. So yeah, all of my items that I get for eBay is really from thrift stores. Sometimes I go to local yard sales and garage sales and stuff like that. But majority of stuff I go straight to thrift stores like Goodwill, or I'll go to Salvation Army or any other local thrift stores around here and just list it and hope it sells. The net profit off of these items are really, really good, in my opinion. I usually buy my items for about $1 or $2 for shirts and pants and stuff like that. Dollar, maybe around $4 at most, $5 at most, really. And then on top of that, I can get anywhere from, who knows, like 10, 20, 30, $40 net profit. This is after the cost of good is taken out, after the fees, after the shipping. I'm getting 20, 30, $40 on top of that. So this is the eBay store. I like it very much, but this one does take more work. as compared to the other stores I'll be going over. The good thing about eBay is they just launched their like marketing platform or marketing strategy where you can market your items for it's pretty cheap actually. How they do it is they don't do per click, they do per sale. So they charge you per sale, as opposed to other platforms where they charge you per click. So when you list your item, um, and advertise it, I'm sorry, when someone clicks on your item, other platforms would charge you for clicking. eBay, they only charge you when you make the sale, which is pretty good, which is really good in my opinion. So that's eBay. And I'm still working on eBay this year, just not as much since I did start venturing out into other business platforms. So I'll go over that. So the next one's going to be my Etsy store. Now, when I first started selling online, which was in December of 2016, I thought I can just open up a bunch of other stores and just start selling on those too. But I was new. I didn't know too much about e-commerce at all. I opened up the Etsy store in January. I think it was around January, February, something like that. And I don't know. I guess I got frustrated because I was listing a few items. Not as I didn't put as much work as I should have, but I was just so underwhelmed by the you know traction. Like I didn't. I think I only made one sale in February of 2017, and I had the store open. I think it was January. Either way, I wasn't getting much visibility, so I really didn't. I put it on the back burner. Um, I just had the store for a long time, and I really didn't start putting more effort into it until March of this year, which was pretty much last month. But this is now since I have more, experience in e-commerce and learning how people buy and their buying patterns and what people are looking for. The cool thing about Etsy is that the majority of Etsy's audience is women. So with that said, you can market towards women, and that's exactly what I do with my Etsy store. So I sell women's and kids clothing, which is really just POD clothing. POD is print on demand, where I have a design, I print it on a shirt, and then once a customer orders the shirt, that's when it's actually printed onto the shirt and then shipped to them. So that's print on demand. You print the shirt's design on demand as it's ordered. So that's more as compared to eBay. That's less hands off. I don't even touch the product at all. So that's the cool thing about it. Um, and actually, I made my first sale today. So what I've noticed is I'm starting to gain a little bit more traction. Excited. The other day, I made $90 in one day. It was about 2 days ago. I had $90 in one day, which was really good in my opinion. So on there, I sell. Like I said, I catered more towards women. I just sell. I'll probably pick up some jewelry items. I haven't really done that lately, but I mean, I will put that on my store. Um, and I sell kids' toys. It's this niche that I'm really into right now because there's a high demand for it. So I'm just really going towards that niche and procuring as much inventory as I can that I can afford of it. That $90 a day, that was from that specific toy. Someone bought 9 of them, and it was about $10 per toy, and plus they paid for shipping. So that's the Etsy store, and I also put up a Instagram, and the way I have it is it may be a little confusing. So the niche toy that I said, I have a brand for that, and then I have an Instagram for that brand. So every time I'm posting images on Instagram, I'll tell the audience to go to my profile on Instagram, which pretty much transfers them to my Etsy store, which is a different brand. It may be a little confusing. You may wonder like, why are you doing that? Um, it's just it. There's a reason behind it. My Etsy store sells plenty of things uh, but my Instagram sells just something specific. So if you kind of understand how that works, that's why I have it like that. The cool thing about Etsy is the PPP system, pay per click. It's very simple, really easy. They pretty much take out the guesswork. There's like a little button you just click for your item, and then it starts looking for search terms that people search when they find your listing. So it does all that automatically for you. And another really good thing about Etsy, which is why I love Etsy so much right now, is because it gives you keywords. So when people search for something, let me see if I could pull up an example. So if we go to Etsy, they literally tell you the keywords that other people are using. Um, I don't know. Let's go to keychain for women, for example. When you go to Etsy and you go to, we can even just click the ad right here. You scroll all the way at the bottom. This is the keywords that this seller is putting for the listing. And you can click on any of them. Like, I don't know, you can say leather jewelry. Just click on it, and then you'll see how many listings there are. So this is a pretty competitive keyword. You can even look for something else once it goes back. Like a good strategy is to get a really good in-demand keyword, but less competitiveness. Here's another one just really high. But yeah, that's what Etsy does. It's really awesome. There's no other platform that does something like that at all. So yeah, the PPP system, like I said, is really, really easy. It gives you the keywords, and also it shows you what keywords other listers are putting as well. So that's why I like Etsy a lot. And then Amazon. So Amazon is just a whole beast on its own. I have two parts for my Amazon business, or three parts really. So the first part is FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon. That's a little bit difficult. There's kind of a learning curve to it. The basis is you ship your product to Amazon's warehouse, and then when a customer orders it, Amazon will ship it. They'll pack your item, and ship it to your customer, and they deal with customer service, which is great. The difficulty comes where learning what to sell. So my business goes into RA, which is retail arbitrage, and private label. I don't do too much of RA. I don't really have time for it. I still work a full-time job, but I do private label. I'm a beginner in private label. So I source products from overseas, and I ship it to Amazon's warehouse. It's a lot cheaper to source from overseas usually. So that's what I do with private label. I just stick my brand on it, and then once it sells, Amazon will pick it, pack it, and ship it. And RA, which is retail arbitrage, is going to stores. It could be Target, Walmart. I usually stick to um, places like TJ Maxx, or when I go to Goodwill, I look for new items. I usually try to get new items for Amazon FBA because they're very picky and really strict about what they allow into the warehouses. So that's Amazon FBA. And like I said, the difficulty is learning what sells. So Amazon has an app where it shows you something called a BSR, or best sellers rank, and every single category has their own like level of what sells. So for example, books, which I'm kind of learning more about books. I think around 500,000 or below for the sales rank is good. Anything 500 or more is, kind of risky, meaning it won't sell soon. It won't sell fast at all. If you're in the couple million for a sales rank, then it's going to take a long time to sell. And when you have something in the warehouse that takes a long time to sell, then they start charging you long-term storage fees. So another thing about Amazon FBA is the PPC is expensive, pretty much the marketing. So like I said, with Etsy, when you push that button for your listing, it pretty much finds the keywords. And Amazon does the same thing, but since Amazon is so big and like so many customers go to Amazon, how much you spend per day, your budget per day is gonna go overboard. Say I was doing $5 for my item, $5 every single day, but sometimes it'll go over to about $6 or $7 because I guess it just can't keep track of all the clicks that it gets for my listing. And yeah, and since there's so many people clicking on your listing, and that's not a good probability of it selling, if that makes sense. Whereas opposed to Etsy, there's not as many people as Amazon, so you can get, a good amount of people clicking on your listing. You might have a higher chance of selling your item. So that's Amazon FBA. So there's retail arbitrage and private label. And then for merch by Amazon, this is literally just print on demand shirts. Same thing what I have for Etsy. I just, upload a design to a shirt. Could be for women, could be for men, could be for kids. I just upload it and list it. And then when someone sees it, the company that I work with will print it and then ship the shirt to the customer or any other item. There's also coffee mugs. Well, not merch by Amazon, but Etsy has coffee mugs and pillows and tote bags, backpacks, a whole bunch of stuff. Merch by Amazon is more just shirts, long sleeve shirts, and I think that's it. Maybe oh, and I think sweatshirts as well. But the thing, merch by Amazon, it takes a long time to get approved. Number one, and there's a ton of people selling on merch by Amazon, so your listing visibility is going to be minimal. You have to have the really good keywords, and the way merch by Amazon works is whenever someone buys a shirt, your listing gets ranked up a little bit more. And I think it's the same thing like with Etsy, sort of. When you first put up your listing goes straight to the bottom of the barrel, straight to the back. eBay, I believe, is a little bit different from what I've noticed for my whole year of selling on eBay. It's a little bit different in the sense that when you list your item, you get a little bit of a boost because there's like a tag that says newly listed, and you're somewhere up there in the ranks. So Etsy and Amazon, when you put your item up there, it's all the way in the back. And Amazon, since there's so many sellers on there, it's really in the back. Um, but so I'm not a good designer for print on demand, but I did outsource a designer on Upwork. So he creates 6 designs every single week for me, and then I pay him weekly. So that's how I have my merch by Amazon set up. So that's my business in a nutshell. Like I said, I have some things listed on Mercari, but I'm not making any sales with it at all. So my goals. So 2017 was decent, or I mean, actually, it was good in my opinion. So I did 16,500 something for 2017. So 2018, I want to just go even further. I want to reach $100,000 in revenue from all sources. So that goes from eBay, Etsy, Amazon, merch. So I want to do $100,000 in revenue. And my ultimate goal is to be able to provide for myself by June of 2019. Um, honestly, this year has not been off to the best start, but since I made my first sale for the print on demand on Etsy today, which was a good sign. It was the same thing when I made my first sale on eBay in December. It's that little bug that you catch. It's when you realize someone is actually willing to buy something from you. You just have to scale it up and continue to grow and just list more, list more, list more. So I truly believe that you can sell at least, and this might be kind of lowballing it, you can sell at least 1% of your inventory per month. That's just my opinion from selling online for over a year now. Now that could be lowballing it. It could be a lot more than 1%, but it's in my opinion, it's safe to say you'll get 1%. So the more I list, the more likely I'll make more sales. So that is my business in a nutshell. Um, don't really have anything else to say about this. So I have an email I'll put in my description if you want to email me about any type of, if you need any help or you have any questions with any of, these online platforms, feel free to reach out to me and I'd love to, share my knowledge with you. Thank you for watching.